Okay, now let's go to iDecide. So iDecide is the most amazing and powerful tool on the planet. And what we want to do is show you how to work your iDecide. So when you click the iDecide link, it takes you to the iDecide homepage. And again, remember that what we're going to do is we're going to set it up so that iDecide is on single sign-on as well, and it takes you right inside and you do not have to log in. But for now, this is where it drops you. So you click log in, okay? And let's go ahead and log in to my test iDecide account. All right, so what happens here? It tells you, it's a very simple site, by the way. It doesn't do a whole lot of different things, so it makes life really easy for you, okay? So let's go through what's available. And I subscribe to the click on everything and see what it does philosophy of learning how websites work. You know, I want to encourage you guys to have childlike curiosity and click on things and see what they do, okay? So let's start with my account. The first thing you need to do on my account is you need to set up your email. And let me just change the email on this one. Okay, and then you put your phone number in so that you can get text messages. Now, by the way, if you want to get a text message when people are watching your iDecide, your iBoomerang presentation on iDecide, you have to make sure you have a phone number in. Okay, you don't need any billing or whatever because your account is included in your iBoomerang TSA membership. Okay, so let's save that information. And now here's what we need to do. So now we need to, you see it says your names list is currently empty. Add someone suggesting that to you. Right? But if you already had people there, you have in the lower left-hand corner the add contact link. And in the right-hand side, you have the post a link. So let's start with the add contact link. Add contact allows you to put a person's name in here and set them up as a contact of a person. And this doesn't send them an iDecide. It just puts them in your list of people that you can send an iDecide to. So let's suppose I want to send an iDecide presentation to Mark Kithcart, our VP of Marketing. He's a rock star, right? And then let's also say I want to send iDecide presentation to Lori Spears. Now, I'm not going to put all the information in here. I can, but I'm not going to do it for now. Okay, Lori Spears is our director of travel, and she is a rock star also. So now here's what happens. They are now on my list of people that I can send an iDecide presentation to. Now, I had some folks tell me people aren't getting my iDecides. I've been putting their information in, but they're not getting it. And here's why. You have not sent it to them yet when you've done this part, okay? So in order for Mark and Lori to get an iDecide, I have to actually send it to them. Now, how do I do that? I click on their name. Notice when I hover over their line, it highlights, okay? And it works like this too. You can do it on your phone, okay? So it works on your phone as well. So Mark Kithcart, I want to send it to Mark. I click on his bar or his name, and now the send an iDecide box comes up. So now I am actually sending an iDecide. Before I was adding a contact. Now I am sending an iDecide. Now I can actually have iDecide email it to Mark for me, but I never email anybody anything because people don't read email. Plus sometimes email can be a little weird. Depending on which email people have, they may block things. So what I like to do is copy the link into a text or email. You see how that's an option for me, right? You also notice that there's a drop down for the presentation. Right now there's only one in there. Good news, folks, coming soon. Your drop down will include iBoomerang Spanish, iBoomerang Korean, and other languages, and we'll be developing those over the coming weeks and months. Now, here's another thing that you want to know about the iDecide link that we're going to generate for someone. The link is unique to that person. So what will happen is that person, when they look at it, it's going to know that it was them. Now, some cool things have happened. Like my buddy Brian he sent out an iDecide link to one of his guys. Let's call that guy Joe to protect the innocent. And Joe liked it so much that Joe sent it to 10 people. Well, Brian, his phone was blowing up. It kept saying, Joe is watching your iDecide. Joe is watching your iDecide. Joe is watching your iDecide. Because when a person starts watching your iDecide, you get a message that says, Joe started watching your iDecide. We'll let you know when he finished. And when he finishes, it says, Joe just finished watching your iDecide. Here's what he chose to do. And so he was getting that like crazy. He talks to Joe, and Joe says, yeah, I got excited. I sent it out to 10 of my guys, and they all want to get started. So what do I need to do? That's how powerful this is. Everybody's fascinated by this presentation. But anyway, let's click next. And when you click next, it says your invitation has been created. Now, you have two ways that you can copy this and send it to somebody. The first is you can create a message. Now, up top, you have a default message. I don't like the message, so you can change the message here. Okay, so it says, hello, Mark Hithcart. I had this interactive animation created for you. Please let me know what you think, right? I could change that to, hey bro, this is the insanity that I was telling you about that has everyone going crazy. You gotta watch this. And let's talk. Maybe that's what I said to Mark, right? And what I can do is I can then click copy to clipboard, and the whole thing is on the clipboard. Or I can just click this copy to clipboard, and it's just gonna give me the link by itself, okay? So in this particular case, I'm gonna take my message, because I like that message that I made for Mark. And now I get to choose how I wanna be notified. Do I want the system to email me when he watches the presentation and when he finishes, or do I want it to text me? Now, sometimes if you come here and it won't let you choose text, it's because you don't have a phone number in my account. So you got to then go stop this process, go put the phone number in my account, come back and do it again, and then you'll be able to choose that. And then you notice it will verify and tell you it's going to send it to the phone number that you put in there. So in this particular case, I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to copy that one to the clipboard. I'm going to close this. And now I am going to send the iDecide. They're not sending it. I'm sending it. And where's my training demo group? I'm just going to copy and paste it in here. And now Mark can click this link and watch the iDecide. And if that was attached to a real phone number, it would show, I would get a text message that he started watching the iDecide presentation. One other feature that I want to show you is this post a link feature, which is absolutely cool, because what it does is it creates a link that could be shared on social media and viewed by multiple people. Okay, so maybe you have a website or a social media page where you want to give people the opportunity to see your presentation. When you click this, it creates a link, right? That's a little bit different. And you can share it on Facebook, or you can just copy the link. And then what it does when people use this link, it asks them to put in their information. Isn't that cool? Right? So let's put in some information. Joe Smith at, this, I want to make sure we don't mess up somebody's email. Let's say Joe Smith, 88995567. Hopefully that's not anybody's email, at gmail.com. And Joe's number is 111-222-3456 because he copied me and he has the same number. And he clicks watch, right? And then he gets to now see the presentation. But here's the cool thing about it. When I go to my iDecide account and my names list, and then you see Joe Smith is in there. Isn't that cool? That is like crazy cool. Bet you didn't know that you could do that. That's super cool. All right. So that is very simply how you use iDecide. And of course, when people view your presentation, they are going to, iDecide is going to send you a notification that they viewed it. iDecide is going to send you a notification that they wanted to get started with your business, or that they wanted to become a customer, or that they wanted to meet you. Okay, so we'll dig into that, and we'll do iDecide presentation later. But what I want to do right now, while we have just a few minutes left, is I want to give you a quick little training on how we can use iDecide. Here's the thing. First thing I want to tell you about iDecide is this, and this actually applies to boomerangs as well. And I want you to write this down. And as a matter of fact, I want everyone to type this in the chat. All right, we have over 1,000 people watching this live right now. And if you watch the recording, I want you to type it in the chat anyway, even though you're just watching the recording on your own. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write this down. No one should receive an iDecide presentation or a boomerang invitation that is not expecting to receive it. No one should receive an iDecide or a boomerang that is not expecting to receive it. I want to see that in the group. I'm going to say it again. No one should receive an iDecide or a boomerang that is not expecting to receive it, right? You don't want to spam this out to your list. You know, you're making that list. You know, some people, you know, iDecide does a lot of the work for you. It does most of the work for you. But what you don't want to do is do none of the work. You don't want to make your list and then just start shooting iDecide text to them, and they don't even know what they're getting, because what that's going to do is that's going to burn your list. And then you're going to be disappointed. And then you're going to be sad. And then you're going to say, that thing didn't work. I tried that iBoomerang thing and it didn't work. And the reality is, it's not going to be that it didn't work. It's going to be that you didn't work because you didn't do what you were supposed to do, right? And that's what I want to share with you guys, which is don't spam it out to your group. Don't spam it out to your group, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you call a person, and you want to make sure that you call a person and that you talk to them and you let them know that you're going to send them something free, right? So, you know, let's suppose I call my good friend Edwin Haynes. I really can't recruit him because he's already in the deal as the GMA, the Global Master Ambassador, and he is absolutely amazing. I can't think of a better person to lead this thing from the field perspective, because he leads with such heart and integrity, and he's built massive organizations. He knows everything about how to be successful in this business, and he loves people. He loves helping people do this. But let's suppose that he wasn't our GMA and I was trying to recruit him. I would call him up and I'd be like, hey, Ed, it's T. Hey, man, listen, check this out. You know how we've been looking for the deal? Well, listen, you remember that guy, Holton Budge, that was just rocking it out and blowing it out, and he's at the top of all the lists in network marketing? The day we've been waiting for has come. He has actually started his own company, and it is crazy. And Ed says, hey, man, tell me all about it. I say, no, man, I'm not going to tell you anything. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to send you a link to an interactive presentation. It is cool. It is fun. You watch it, and after you watch it, then we can talk, okay? If it makes sense to you, great. If it don't make sense to you, no problem, but you check it out, and then we can catch up afterwards. And so I'm going to send it to you right now. Hold on. I'm going to send it to you. And I just go on my phone, or I go on my laptop, and I generate the link, and I send it to him right then and there. I text it to him, or I WhatsApp it to him, or email it to him, or whatever. I Skype it to him. I just cut and paste and send it to him. And then he says, I say, hey, man, check your messenger. Did you get it? He goes, I got it. I said, great. You check that out right now, and then let's talk later. And I know if he actually did it, because you know what happens? When he starts the presentation, I'm going to get that text message or that email from iDecide that says, Edwin Haynes just started watching your iDecide presentation, okay? So notice I sent it to him, and he is expecting to receive it. That's important, right? He's not going to just get a random text from me, and, oh, look, T. Gray sent me some weird link. He might think that's spam. He might think it's a virus and don't want to click it. So what I do is I call him up and say, hey, I'm going to send you something. You got to check this out, all right? And it could be that simple. It could be that simple of a conversation. I might call up my good friend, Tanya Mazel Joseph, and let's suppose she's not in the deal. She's a prospect. I call her up and say, hey, Tanya, what's happening? Hey, listen, I know you like to ball out. You and your husband, you guys are living on that high class. I want to show you how to make another income stream. I'm going to send you something that's totally powerful. You watch it. I'm going to send it to your phone. You watch it, and then we can talk about it afterwards. Cool? Okay, great. I'm sending it right now. And then I send her the link. See, everybody who gets an iDecide from me is expecting to receive it. If I have that conversation with that person and I get sidetracked and I don't send it, that person should be texting me saying, hey, man, where's that link? Right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that people are expecting to receive it. And that's the coolest, that's the first way that you can use an iDecide to present to an individual. And I'm going to tell you this, there's not a person in this world who's not going to at least say, that was cool. I've never seen anything like that. And the whole point of that is you don't want to say a lot. I'm teaching everybody, don't say so much. Don't give a presentation before the presentation. Let the iDecide do the work. Let the presentation do the work for you. So they say, hey, man, why are you sending me that link? Why are you generating the link? Why don't you tell me what's the product? The product is I'm sending you the link. You can watch the presentation. Man, T-Grade, tell me at least what industry it is. It's in the I'm going to send you the presentation and you go watch it industry. Right? I mean, that's how I do it, folks. I mean, have some fun with your friends and your people. I mean, you talk to them the way that is appropriate to talk to them. But the key thing is I don't give them any information at all. And the reason for that is I let that presentation do its work, and then when we're talking afterwards, they now know that they can do it. Because you know what? When people are asking you a whole bunch of questions, they think they want the answer, but they don't really want the answer. It's like when your kids want cookies for breakfast. They think they want cookies for breakfast. They don't really want cookies for breakfast because it's going to give them a stomach ache. But they don't know that at the time, right? So when people are asking you all these questions and you are answering them, all you are doing is convincing them and showing them how hard this is. Because now what happens is they think they got to know all that stuff that you just showed them that you know. They think that they have to answer all those questions that you just showed them that they can answer. And they're thinking, man, I got to study stuff. I mean, when am I going to learn all this? I already got 5 jobs and 20 kids, right? So what you want to do instead is answer no questions. Send them the presentation. And then that way at the end, when they say, if they don't say of their own, I can do this. If they say, I'm not sure I can do this, you say, what is it that you're not sure you can do? All I did was send you a video. All I did was send you a link. Can you send someone else a link? Well, yeah, I think I could. Well, then guess what? You can do this. Now, if you did the whole Jabberjaw thing in the beginning, you can't say that because, right, I like to be able to say to people, what did I do with you? Well, you sent me that video. Can you send someone else the video? Right? The only way that conversation works is if you don't, yak it up and vomit all over them and show them how much you know before sending them the presentation. Keep it simple, all right? Let me share with you another way of using your iDecide. You can use your iDecide to do group presentations. So look behind me and you see my living room. You know what? This past Sunday, I had good friends of mine sitting on that sofa. Now, you guys have seen my presentations. You guys know I can rock out the presentation. I can get up there and tell you all about iDecide and how it works and all the cool stuff and all the details. And I know the numbers without even looking at the slide. But guess how much talking I did on Sunday? This much. Here's what happened. I pull out my laptop. I hooked it up to the Apple TV, so it was projecting right on that TV, right over there, right? And when they came in, I had the presentation set up. The wife's name was Misty. I generated a link that said Misty on it. Think about it, folks. This is real cool. And I said, hey, Misty, you are flying the plane today, and gave her my laptop. You could give her your tablet, their phone, whatever the presentation's on, you can give it to the person, one of the people in the group, and let them fly it. Let them be the pilot for the group that day. In this particular case, it was a small group. It was her and her husband. I would have done the same thing if it was 5 people. I would have done the same thing if it was 10. And by the way, the more people, the more of a game it becomes when the choices start popping up on the screen. And the person who's flying says, okay, group, what are we going to click on? Dubai, New York. We did this at the presentation in Houston the other night just to give everybody a sample. And we said, what's the reason that we don't travel? Oh, this one, oh, that one. And so you're clicking on the different ones, right? And it becomes a lot of fun, especially that slide that's kind of going like this and the bubbles are moving around, and it's how many companies own them all. and you got to chase the number around the screen, which is, by the way, psychological, because it is actually getting the person engaged on multiple levels. They're not just watching. They're not just answering the question. They have to physically get involved in the presentation because the answers aren't even sitting still. They got to chase them around the screen. And I know the right answer is 2, but I listen for somebody to shout out the wrong answer and you click it. Nope, that's not it. Click it, getting warmer. That's real fun for everybody. So Misty is driving. She and her husband are calling out the answers, and they're having such a great time giving themselves a presentation. And by the way, when Misty's name popped up on the screen, she was super excited. She was like, wow, I feel special, right? That's cool. So what was really cool was when we got to the point where the calculators come up and you get to choose, how many customers you think you could get. And you want to know what's real crazy? You know what numbers people put in those boxes? The numbers that they believe in, the number that they think that they can do, not the number that you want to project onto them. They put their own number in there, and that is such a moment. That's a really big thing, folks, when you stop and think about it. And so, I was cool watching Misty and her husband, Carl. They were kind of going back and forth about the number of customers. And she's like, well, I think I can do 50. And he's like, I think I can do 250. And they're just kind of debating. And this is when I finally opened my mouth. I just kind of said from the corner. I was sitting in the big red chair over there. And I said, do 50 first and then do 250. Kind of like the voice, from back here. They go, oh, okay, we'll do that. And so she plugged in 50 and she was like, wow, right? And then they did 250 and he was like, whoa. And they were just really having such a great time with this presentation. And they totally forgot that I was there. It was the coolest thing in the world. And when they got to the end, they were ready to sign up. You know what? I did this with a group on Zoom. Right? Because y'all remember, for those of you who are in Houston, and I got so crazy, I pretty much lost my voice. And on Thursday, on Tuesday, I knew it was my turn to do the presentation. So I had to save just a little bit of voice so I could do the presentation on our Facebook Live. And so I had a group that I needed to share this with, and they were in France. And you know what I did? On Zoom, I pulled up the presentation, the iDecide, and let them tell me what to click and let them drive and let them fly the plane, and it worked that way too. So all I want to let you guys know is that now anybody can do it, and it's fun. And it was so cool on Zoom just to hear everybody saying, hey, click that one, no, that one, no, that one. And I'm just doing what they tell me to do, and it was so cool. What number you guys want me to put in the team building box? Put 1,000, put 500, put 1,500, put 2,500. They wanted to see different numbers, right? And some of them had built teams before. I said, well, how big was your last team? Oh, it was this much. Okay, I plug it in. Hey, if you did that over here and everybody had 10 customers, this is what you would make. Whoa, cool, right? So in any event, that's how you could use your iDecide. Now, check this out. It's been driving people crazy. I want to get Andre on here. I want to give you guys just a quick testimonial. I shared with you Brian's story, where he sent it to one person. They got excited. They sent it to 10 other people, and 11 people joined because of that. That is like crazy. But now let's get Andre on here. Andre, turn on your camera. Get on here. There we go. We got my buddy Andre. Andre, welcome to the iBoomerang family. And first of all, tell me what how you feel about iDecide.
Man, it's one of the most powerful tools I've ever seen in 25 years. And my mind has just been boggled with this tool because I'm just thinking about duplication. The biggest thing is people always say, oh, I can't do a presentation. Can you come and do it? Oh, can you do it Zoom? Can you do this for me? And everybody can do the same exact presentation all around the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is going to create some insane, explosive growth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what we saw. That's what we thought, Andre, when we first saw it. And that's why everybody's going crazy. So absolutely everybody. The cool thing is if you get started on standby, folks, you get iDecide right out of the gates as part of your digital enrollment kit. That's why it's $49.95, so we can set up that iDecide account for you. Now, the other piece is we have a group from Traveris that is migrating over. They don't automatically get iDecide, you have to opt in to the $99 monthly subscription fee. I don't see why anybody wouldn't do that because iDecide is a powerful success tool. But Andre, come back on here. We're not done with you, bro. You were sharing a testimony yesterday about what happened with your iDecide. I saw you send some text messages. What was your experience?
So I got it yesterday, got it cranked up, and I sent out, very simple, communicated with people, hey, what's going on, touch base, yep. I was like, hey, got something, you got to see it. When you got 15 minutes? Oh, right now. Boom, I sent it, generated a link, sent it to them, and I had to do that probably maybe about 40 people. And literally the phone just started dinging. It was dinging, dinging. Rob is looking, Larry is looking, Mary is looking, such is looking. But what really blew me away was towards the end, it started showing, let me get to it here. It was like, this person is finished looking and they're ready to join. This person just got through looking. He has a 1 o'clock appointment set that he wants to talk to at 1 o'clock. It was like, but here's the part that got me. For the person that's always worried about, well, what if they tell me no and they're not interested? You know, I can't handle the rejection. Well, it just tells you here, you don't even have to talk them. Hey, this person is done. They're not interested. You don't have to do nothing no more. But then it said next, this person is done. Get ready to join. And I'm like, oh, stick a fork in it. It is done.
Stick a fork in you and you're done. I love it. Absolutely love it. Man, Andre, what a great story. And I love it because you made this post that said, you made a post, I think the post said something like, I've done 15 presentations today, but I haven't done one. You guys get it? Like, what did you mean by that, Andre?
Well, you know, the way I built back in the days, I had to, you know, initially I'd go to the coffee shop or I'll go to somebody's living room and, you know, I'll go from house to house, neighborhood to neighborhood. And for me to do 15 presentations in one day, it's a 16-hour day. Mm-hmm. And I did 15 presentations and I didn't do not one of them. I didn't open up my mouth. I didn't talk. I didn't do any PowerPoints. I didn't do any calls. I didn't do any Zooms. I didn't meet nobody at the coffee shop. It was all done. And they all got the presentation the way they wanted it. So they were more interested in just saving money. You know, you always ask yourself this question, well, should I tell this person about, you know, making money? Or should I tell this person about the product and the benefits, how much they're going to save? No, they decide what they like. So if they like more saving money, that's what they look at. If they like more making money, that's what they look at. And they're in control. So it's no thinking. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to figure out, let me tell this guy about the product, or let me tell this person about the money. Oh, this is a big network. You need to see some big checks. They can see what they want, how they want, when they want, and boom, you get notified what they want to do.
Boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I absolutely love it. Andre, thanks for coming on and firing everybody up. You dropped some serious gold right there, just talking about how people experience that the way that they want to. And I'm watching the Facebook chat and people are going crazy. And somebody just said, that is dope. I've done 15 presentations today, but I haven't done one. I love it because that is the truth. This is such a powerful business building tool. So we'll continue to train on this. We'll continue to show you guys how to do this. As the back office evolves, we'll come back and we'll do another back office training and show you all the new features of how that works. And we'll just keep making sure everybody knows how to do what they need to do. You know, I was talking with Holton Bugs last night, and I said, I'm excited to do this training because one of the things that I learned from my mentor, Holton Bugs, and I'll never forget this. I won't forget what Holton taught me because I have it in almost every journal. Every time he says it, I write it down anyway because repetition is the mother of skill. So one of the things that he taught me is that there's 3 reasons why people who are able to do what they should do don't do it. Reason number 1 is they don't know what to do. Reason number 2 is they don't know how to do it. And reason number 3 is they simply don't want to. And it's safe to assume that since everybody paid their money to be a part of iBoomerang, that you must want to. So the reason and purpose for these trainings is to make sure that everybody knows what to do and knows how to do it. We are committed to your success. We love you dearly. I hope you enjoy these toys. It's like network marketing Christmas with this website, with this back office, with the boomerangs, and with iDecide. It's like you got 20 toys for Christmas. Which one do you play with first? Folks, go out there, build a big business. Make sure your entire team watches this recording. We love you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you during the week for our incredible presentations.